Hey everybody, it's Rob with RobKingFitness.com, and I am here with one of the smartest dudes that I've met, Dr. Peter Osborne. Peter, it's good to see you again. Hang out with you again.
Yeah, same here.
I'm going to tell a quick little story. Pete is an expert in gluten, and I always like to have the mindset of being a student and always learning. And personally, my girlfriend Danielle has been really sick recently, struggling with fat loss, stuffed up all the time. We started looking at her nutrition, and it was gluten. It's the same thing that you've been saying forever. So I'm going to let Pete talk a little bit about it and then kind of get you some more information.
Yeah, so a lot of people that are training, they're trying to get leaner. They're trying to lose body weight. They're trying to lose that tire, that muffin top, so to say. They're also trying to lose that extra water retention. And they train really hard. They work out. They put in the time in the gym. But then they go and they sabotage by what they're putting into their bodies. So they'll go and they'll have a breakfast, lunch, or dinner that's high in gluten or that's high in grain-based proteins or grain-based elements. And what they don't realize is that a large percentage of people actually have gluten sensitivity, meaning when they eat gluten, what that does is that their immune system looks at that gluten and says, we don't like this. And so the whole purpose of eating food is to nourish the body and to help the body recover, right? And so when we're eating food that's counterproductive to that, the food is not nourishing and the food is actually hindering our immune system's ability to recover and hindering our muscles' ability to heal after a workout, then what ends up happening is the workout actually makes us sick. It actually advances sickness over time. And so we end up with, again, eating this wrong food, overworking our bodies because the food isn't right and we can't heal. And so now we're left with chronic sinusitis, increased allergies, increased weight gain, increased water retention. A lot of women will also start to develop hormone disruption, abnormal cycles, abnormal periods. And we'll start to see the thyroid gland or other glands, the pancreas, those glands will start to lose their function. And so then they'll lose their ability to metabolize calories as a general rule. And so it doesn't matter what they eat, no matter how much they work out, they can't lose weight, they can't restrict the weight. So the diet becomes very, very critical. 90% of your training is actually your diet. 10% of the hard work goes into the training, but the other part of it is what you put in the body. So with gluten sensitivity, one of the best things that you can do, I actually have a quiz online that we've created for people that they can take it. It's kind of a self-testing quiz, and depending on how they score, they can kind of then go on a gluten-free diet challenge where they go gluten-free for 6 weeks or so. Determine how they feel. If they feel so much better, the proof is in the pudding. There's no more need to really investigate it further. But what you don't want to do is make the mistake that so many people made in the 90s when they went on the Atkins diet and they felt better, and then they went back to their old diet and they started feeling bad again, and they forgot that the diet change was what made them feel good in the first place. So one of the things I highly recommend, if you really need a black and white answer, if you need a reason to justify changing your diet above and beyond a self-quiz, is genetic testing. And genetic testing is as easy as a cheek swab. You can swab your cheeks to determine whether or not you have the genes that would react to gluten. So as you eat gluten in your diet, if you have these certain gene patterns and you react to gluten, then obviously the best way to take care of that is to remove the gluten from the diet. So where do we find the gluten? It's primarily in wheat, barley, rye, oats, but pretty much all grains contain some forms of gluten. Some, depending on which scientists you ask, depending on which research studies you read. But if we define gluten, gluten is basically the storage protein found within grain. So that's all families of grain. And the foods most commonly that contain gluten are your breads, your pastas, your cereals, your cakes, your donuts, your bagels, your Subway sandwiches, right? All the things that are really bready. Gluten is the protein within the grain that makes the bread chewy and doughy. It's what gives us that desirable chewy effect. So just keep that in mind. Those are the things you can start cutting out that are easy to cut out, that are obvious. And then as you want to be more and more specific, you can start looking at other hidden forms of gluten. There can be hidden forms of gluten in salad dressings, in soups, in stews. Sometimes manufacturers will inject meat with gluten fillers because obviously meat costs more than wheat, right? So we can inject the meat and make it weigh more and sell it for more. But
it's crazy how much this works. When I just did my last 42-day cut, I reduced my cardio almost completely, changed up my nutrition, went with my own kind of tweaks on the paleo type diet. I used to be a big oatmeal eater, got rid of it. The results were insane. At 38, I was in the best shape that I've been in as long as I can remember. And sustained energy, good strength, wasn't nearly as sore, just felt awesome. So, highly recommend you start reading what Peter puts out. Check out his website, check out his information because the guy knows his stuff and it's helped me and my clients tremendously. So if they want to get more information, what's your site?
www.glutenfreesociety.org. We've got a number of different tools that you can use, including that gluten intolerance self-quiz. I'll send you over a link so that you can share that with your audience.
Yeah, no, highly recommend it. Pay attention to it because we always say you can't out-train a bad diet. This is something that goes even more beyond this, and if you are sensitive, you have those issues, it makes a big difference, and it can help you tremendously. So I want to thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you're welcome.
it very much.
Good seeing you, Rob.
Awesome. Good to see you.